Well, I was born at a party in a barn with a guitar strapped across my arm.
Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the Hogs Happy Hour here on the 4-Star Sports Media Network. I want to thank everyone out there watching on YouTube and X. Before we get started, if you want tickets to the big game, and there is a big game up on the hill this weekend, and you want some money off of it, score a touchdown and use promo code 4-Star Sports Media on SeatGeek to get $20 off of your first order. Don't miss out on the action. Grab your tickets today and save. Speaking of that, are you heading up there this weekend?
Yeah.
You
I'll be up there this weekend.
Yep. So should be a top 5 crowd, I would say. It's a lot of excitement, I know, up there.
And it's a night game.
And it's a night game, and it's after a bye week, and it's after beating Tennessee, and it's LSU, which the younger fans like me and you, LSU. Now, I'm not trying to speak for you, but I think we think the same way. LSU is our rival because that's what we grew up watching.
Yeah,
Friday.
it depends on your generation. If you're older, then you may look at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Within our generation, you look at LSU, and I'm sure if you look at the newer generation, that may be forced upon Missouri.
Yeah, it's a sponsored rival that is with Missouri.
Yeah.
This was what made the battle for the boot great was it was always on Black Friday, so like family was in town, everyone watched the game, and historically this has been a very close matchup, regardless of if LSU's ranked number one or if Arkansas is ranked higher. In a few instances that has happened, but it is it's always a close matchup, no matter what. You can just throw the stats and the rankings out the window. Because, remember when McFadden and Hillis and Jones went crazy when LSU was ranked number one. I mean, there's just lots of, Miracle on Markham, Matt Jones.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. I mean, there's, what's it, Cam Little doing the gritty. So, I mean, there's a lot, in our younger generation mind, there's more memories against LSU than it is, per se, against, like, Texas or any of those older rivalries. But the Texas one is starting back up, so maybe the younger generation will get into that one. So, let's get started with these. LSU Tigers are coming to Fayetteville for the Battle of the Golden Boot. One of the few trophies David Basil has, decorated or made or whatever. So LSU comes in ranked number 8. They came off a huge win last week in overtime against Ole Miss, which you said last week on the show. You hope the game goes into overtime.
Yeah,
and it did.
It did.
And it wasn't like a track meet where they're just scoring all over the place. It was It was a slobber knocker. Okay, it was a tough game.
Exactly what I wanted.
Now LSU has to come to Fayetteville, and then also next week they may be looking ahead. Next week they have to play Texas A&M at Texas A&M, which is another rival for LSU. Seems like every game LSU plays has some type of rival with it. Because the game against Ole Miss was a rival. This is a rival. Texas A&M is a rival. Heck, maybe even Bama, you can count that as a rival. I don't know. It seems like everyone who plays LSU is their rival. So let's go over LSU real quick. They are led by Garrett Nussmeier. So far on the season, he has completed 160 passes on 249 attempts for 1,989 yards with a 64.3 completion percentage. He has a long pass of 71, has thrown 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. And this is the greatest stat, I think. That he's only been sacked 2 times the whole season. And it's not like they haven't played stiff competition. I mean, they've played some really good teams, and
Mm-hmm.
so I would say this is going to be the best offensive line Arkansas has faced. So hopefully, T. Will has a defense that doesn't count on the defensive line getting pressure, because we know how that has gone in the past. All right, receiving wise, they're led by two great receivers, Kyron Lacey and Aaron Anderson. Both have 30 catches on the year. Lacey has 463 yards. Anderson has 452 yards. And combined total, they have 9 touchdowns. Another key factor in this game is going to be Mason Taylor. This is going to be the first true game-changing tight end that Arkansas has had to face. So hopefully our linebackers are up to the challenge of covering, and maybe have to bring that safety down a little bit to cover the tight end. Like I said, to me, it's the first tight end that first true game changing tight end that Arkansas will face this year. And then now defense, they're not as when you think of LSU, you think of great defenses. This defense is pretty good, but they are down who's going to be a great NFL player in Perkins. Okay, he's out for the year. So, but it's a better defense than last year. If you remember the game last year, well, it was a very I'm trying to remember, like 35, 32 or something. It was a high scoring game, but this LSU defense is not what you think of, like when I think of LSU defenses, but it is still a pretty salty defense. Their defensive coordinator came over from Mizzou, so he just kind of, I guess he hit the transfer portal and went down to LSU. But he originally was at LSU as their linebackers coach. So with all that said, Jason, what you think about them Tigers?
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's going to be a tough game, obviously. Like you pointed out, they do have one of the best offensive lines. Uh, Now it's time to see if our preseason praise of our defensive line can live up to the hype.
I don't know. Let's hope, we can hope and pray, right?
Yeah. Uh, but I think this may be one of the better defensive lines that LSU have seen all season. Um, but I don't know. It's just in my mind. I'm thinking, we're Arkansas. Something's bound to happen. Something bad is bound to happen to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we know Pittman's record in one-score games. Well, it's the exact opposite for Coach Kelly. He's pretty
Mhm.
good in one-score games, where Pittman's not. But I mean, we did we did extend the lead against Auburn. We
Mhm.
did beat the number 4 ranked team in the nation, which Tennessee struggled last week, so it kind of makes me kind of concerned. But again, that was another rival, Tennessee, Florida. So maybe that was it. But going back to those receivers for LSU, they ranked in the SEC. They rank number 5 and number 6 in total receiving yards. So our secondary will be tested. There's going to be probably some 30, 40 yard type plays that's going to happen, and Arkansas fans, you're just got to deal with it.
Mhm.
It's going to happen. Just like we might do the same to them.
But with that being said, LSU is a very beatable team. I mean, they're basically 2 plays away from sitting at 3-3
Mm-hmm.
and 0-2 in league play. I mean, these teams have played them close, and conversely, Arkansas is just a few plays from being 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which
mean, we
that's
do have, I mean, we do have one of the hardest schedules in college football this year. Um, you know, the bye week came at a good time. Looking at the injury report, we got a lot more players back ready to play.
yeah.
It's not as long as it has been. Uh,
And they almost have to put one out.
so hopefully, they can come in and contribute instantly. And hopefully get off to a fast start against LSU.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over the availability report or injury report, whatever you want to call it. Arkansas, Jalen Braxton is out, and Rodney Hill is doubtful. So, but Braxton being out hurts, especially with those great LSU receivers. But
Yeah, but he tends to stay hurt though. That's
yeah,
but I think it wouldn't surprise me if he come back the following week. I think he's getting ready to come back.
yeah, just don't want to push it. Still, I mean,
Yeah.
we're halfway through the season, so. And then LSU has a pretty lengthy list. Like we said, Perkins is out. One of their star running backs, Emory Jr., he's out as well for the season. So, but rumor is they will get C.J. Daniels back, another receiver. He's listed as probable. So that'll just he didn't play last week. They LSU said he could have played, but then, kind of like with Braxton, they really don't want to push it too far. Try to rest him one more week. But yeah, LSU has been hit by the injury bug. Like I said, the bye week came at a perfect time. Taylor Green's not even listed on the injury report, so if you think Sam Pittman's playing mind games, he's not, because the SEC will not be happy if Taylor does not play or does not start or does not play, whatever, and he's not listed on that availability report. It's hard to say, but which the reason for this report is not for us to know who's playing; it's for those gamblers out there, so they can. So I mean, if SEC wants to be really honest, now comparing stats, okay, Arkansas actually is better than LSU in pretty much every stat except for pass offense efficiency. Okay, pass offense efficiency, Arkansas ranks 62 in the nation, whereas LSU ranks number 16. But Arkansas has a better pass defense efficiency, rush offense efficiency, rush defense efficiency, third down offense, third down defense, explosive plays for offense and defense. So that's why, if you look on Bet Saracen right now, it's -2 for LSU. It was in preseason. I think we talked about this. In preseason, it was like -10 or -9, 9.5. So it's, from preseason to now, Arkansas has gained quite a bit of points in the gamblers' eyes.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see it just become a pick 'em
Yeah.
by the time kickoff happens.
Yeah. Now, usually Friday, something weird always happens on Friday. It seems the line jumps either up or down. Was it Oklahoma State? It went from what, 6 to like 9 or something, and then Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn changed a little bit. A&M, it changed a little bit. Again, it's just those odds makers they're kind of strange, but. Now, I will say Arkansas matches up well in the run game, which I think is going to help Green. If Green is still a little hobbled, I think Arkansas is going to have some success running inside. Okay, outside, they got some speed at linebacker, but I don't really expect them to have much success on the outside. But running in between the tackles, I think is going to be Bobby Petrino's game plan this week, mainly because Taylor Green's hurt, and he could. That first zone read play that Taylor Green runs, he may get, hurt, and then you have to go to Singleton. So I don't think we're going to see that's part of Taylor Green's game is the zone read, but I think you're going to see a lot more gives to Jackson and Russell and DeBinion more than you will see Green keep it.
Do you see Singleton coming in at all?
Singleton, he won Freshman of the Week when he came in. Last time Arkansas played. I can maybe situational type, but I don't. I think this is Green's team, regardless. If you see Singleton, to me that's not a good sign because that means Green's hurt. But he, maybe down on the goal line, because he is. If you go back to Singleton's high school career and his beginning college career, he does well on the goal line, running the ball on the goal line, even though Tennessee let him score. But that's beside the point.
I'm looking at LSU's schedule here, and they got a pretty brutal second half of their season.
Yeah, yeah. Ole Miss was the start of it, and then
Hmm.
Arkansas, A&M. Trying to think off the top of my head,
That's
maybe Bam.
Bama,
Yeah,
Florida, Vandy, and Oklahoma.
yeah. Which we thought Vandy would be an easy win, but no, not. That's one we always talk, man. Why don't Arkansas ever get Vandy? Well, heck, I'm excited that we are not playing Vandy this year. But yeah, it's this whole weekend is kind of like Separation Saturday because this is the weekend if you want to stay home and watch football, it's a heck of a weekend to do it. But all right, Arkansas wins if what?
Uh, if the defense can cause turnovers and is able to get past the offensive line and cause destruction.
Yeah, if you look at the stats, Nussmeier when he throws one pick, he throws another one. Now if he doesn't throw, his picks come in bunches. So if T. Will can kind of confuse him, I know he's kind of a veteran guy. Now Arkansas has faced him before, when I think he was a freshman or something. So Arkansas does have some experience against Nussmeier, but Arkansas wins if, and Sam Pittman says this all the time, wins if we do not turn the ball over. I think statistically on paper we're slightly better than LSU.
Hmm.
So if you don't give them easy opportunities by fumbling, throwing interceptions, or stupid turnovers like a muff punt or something like that, I think it gives you a better chance to win. So let's flip that. LSU can win if what?
Um, I'll go to our offensive line. If we can't block for Taylor Green,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's going to be a long day.
Yep.
Uh, we got to find confidence in our field goal kicking.
Yep.
Uh, you know, this is going to be a close matchup, and it may come down to a field goal. Uh, and right now, we're on our backup kicker, who
Yep.
actually may
Which,
be
yeah,
better than.
yeah, it may be a blessing.
Yeah,
We don't know yet. Don't know yet. But it could
but
be a blessing.
and also, like I said, as long as we don't turn the ball over, have those
Yeah.
costly turnovers.
Yep. Yeah. I think LSU wins if they cause just one turnover. I mean that's how close this game is.
Hmm.
If LSU can cause one turnover, that's it. It's gonna be a close game, but it makes LSU's chances just a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right, score prediction time. We got the Tigers and Hogs. I don't know who wants to go first.
Oh, I can go first.
All right.
Keep talking about it's going to be a close game, but I do believe Arkansas will pull it out. 31-27 Arkansas.
Okay, so you got a little high scoring affair.
Yeah.
All right, so it was a very emotional game for LSU last week. And then they have to hit the road. So Arkansas's rested up. If you know anything about Sam Pittman, I think the past 3 years he is undefeated after the bye week. And throughout his career, Pittman does very well after a bye week or with bowl preparations, even though he hasn't had too many bowl preparations. But he does do well when he has time to, kind of game plan you. So I'm also going with Arkansas, but I'm going 21-17. So a
All
little
right. Well,
four-point victory.
hopefully
21.
we do. Hopefully we do come out the win because there's a lot of recruits coming in for this game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And especially one from Arkansas, but I think he's gonna wear that purple and gold, not the red and white. It's also a red out or whatever you want to call it, so you'll see different shades of red on TV.
50 Shades of Red.
Because if you know anything, if you even go to Walmart, you can just see those different. And I'm colorblind, and I can even tell the difference. Okay, so I know the non-colorblind people can really tell the difference.
I know. Most of the ones I have are Nike. Even them are different shades of red.
Yeah. So I wonder if I haven't seen anything. I just wonder if they might do the all red uniform too.
I don't know. I saw LSU's wearing all white, so
So
I don't want to wear all red though. It's just
Yeah,
keep it normal.
look like a ketchup bottle.
Don't break out
But
the black ones.
yeah, yeah. All right, next is we have some basketball news. Oh, hold on. Before we do, let me put this up there. All right, betting line LSU -2. Again, it was at 2.5 yesterday, I think.
Hmm.
It started off what you
It
sent
was a
me what?
minus four, 4.5.
Yeah, so it's dropped down 2 points, 2.5 points. Over under set at 57. Now the good thing about these lines is you can have some pushes. So it's not the halves. It's not 2.5 and 57.5. It's straight. Those straight numbers. So I don't know. I expect it. I like you said. I think it's going to go down to 1 point before kickoff.
Yeah,
Because
like I said, it'd be a pick on by the end
yep,
of the week.
yep,
It's going to be that close, I think.
yep. All right, so SEC kind of low key had their media day for basketball. We're smack dab in the middle of football season, but it has to happen at some point because these charity events and all these preseason basketball games are about to happen. Before we get into it, Hogs were ranked number 16 in the AP poll. That is the fourth. They're the fourth ranked basketball team in the SEC. I think they're no. I'm trying to think. It's either the third or fourth.
Third,
Anyways,
I think
okay.
it's third.
So they're the third according to the AP poll, but according to the preseason SEC media, Arkansas is ranked fourth in the SEC, with Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee ahead of them. And just for kicks and giggles, Kentucky is 8. So we want to. But Kentucky had their midnight. Well, they call it Big Blue Madness, like their Midnight Madness thing, and they had that nice looking LED court out there. And it looked nice on TV, but we'll see. We'll see how they actually play. Also, the Razorbacks spent the weekend traveling to them with the Hot Springs, and then they came down south to Pine Bluff to have like practices and just let people see them. That's kind of instead of doing like a Midnight Madness, that's what they decided to do. And they also gave away, like I said, 3,000 pairs of shoes and a whole bunch of charity events. I've had some of my students go. They were posting the I forget which one of the social media people for Arkansas posted some pictures, and I was like, man, that looks like one of my students, and I showed him the picture at school this week, so it was him. So yeah, I had a lot of my students. Without them traveling, my students would have not had the opportunity to even see the Razorbacks. Because we're like an hour and a half from Little Rock for that one game they play, and then about 3.5, 4 hours to Fayetteville. So it was a great event especially for South Arkansas to be able to see the Hogs.
Yeah, from what I gathered though, every one of them was a pretty good turnout
Mm-hmm.
for glorified practice.
Yeah. And he also had that women's clinic. I think 2 weekends ago or
Hmm.
something. He has a great turnout. So he's like I said, he's doing things. And Muss actually spoke about Arkansas today at his media day, and he had all but love for Arkansas. In fact, he said his daughter is having a hard time transitioning to California because she loved it there in Northwest Arkansas. So, but yeah, he said Arkansas is in good hands. He has no ill will against Arkansas. So
No,
he likes.
I think if you ask most Arkansas fans, I don't think most of them will have any problem with Muss. He brought us back to relevancy.
Yeah, heck, he brought it to where Calipari
Hmm.
wants to come here. What was interesting, Coach Cal is a storyteller. So if I was to show videos, we would be here for about 2 hours. But what he did say was this is his quote about being at SEC Media Days. He said, quote, "So yesterday, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I did a COVID test because I thought if I had COVID, I wouldn't have to come. My wife called me and said, not happening. You're going tomorrow." So Cal's not really a media person. He just wants to coach basketball. So, I mean, that's just how he is. Nothing bad against it. But I will say our schedule here. So this is just going off of the AP poll rankings. We're going to play number 1 Kansas in the charity game. We're going to play number 2 Alabama. We're going to play number 8 Baylor, number 11 Auburn, number 12 Tennessee, number 13 Texas A&M, number 19 Texas, number 21 Florida, number 23 Kentucky, number 24 Ole Miss. And we play these teams that received votes. So technically number 26 Illinois, number 34 Michigan, number 38 Miami, number 43 Mississippi State. And look who received a vote at number 49. That is the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Fighting Trojans. They received votes in the AP poll, so shout out to them. But yeah, just that long, in the Muss era, we wouldn't play teams like that. I mean, it's just we will get tested. Arkansas fans will get pissed off because we're losing, but it's part of the process.
That's how you get
Cal's
better.
Even said it. Yeah, Cal even said he said it's losses will come, but that's how we get better. But yeah, he didn't really have, they kept trying to ask him about Kentucky, and he kept saying, I'm here to talk about the SEC, and I'm here to talk about my team. So he's probably tired of hearing about Kentucky, because he's at Arkansas now. And even Coach Pope for Kentucky, he had kind words to say about Coach Cal. So it's not as bad as people think it is out there.
No, I
Especially
mean,
with Kentucky Sports Radio.
I was gonna say, unless you listen to Kentucky Sports Radio, they're still all about us.
Yeah, they were making fun of us for raising money to get the slobbering hog. I mean, so every little thing we do expect for Matt, and his name is Matt Jones, an Arkansas legend, but his name is Matt Jones for Kentucky Sports Radio. So anything the Hogs do, he's gonna watch them. I haven't seen a list, but I'm sure Cal's going to have some basketball recruits there as well this weekend. I think all sports will. Any sport will have some type of recruit.
Come up for at the football game this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of visits for all sports coming up. But yeah, it's almost Kansas game is 2 weeks.
Next Friday, 25th.
Yeah, so. And that's on SEC Network, not the, you don't have to find a stream of it, or an illegal stream of it. You can just turn on your TV, go to SEC Network, and it'll be right there. But all right, so let's go into SEC talk. Now we talked about this. This is Separation Saturday, so let's talk about what happened last week in the SEC. It'll pop up. All right, Texas defeated poor Oklahoma. Oklahoma's getting it's not a good start to them in the SEC. But,
no. Welcome to the SEC. Take the Big 12.
Granted, Oklahoma has a tougher schedule than Texas. That's just,
Texas has played one conference game, two or two now.
Two. Yeah. But it's Mississippi State and Oklahoma. So,
yeah.
But anyways, Mississippi State, I told you, put some money on Mississippi State. They lost. Georgia beat them, but it was only 41-31. So it was only 10 points. The line was 34 points. I think what it ended at. So, Mississippi State, good teams win, but great teams cover. So shout out to Mississippi State. And then what a heck of a game this was. Alabama defeats South Carolina 27-25.
Oh, that was a good game.
Alabama fans are getting a taste of what us normal SEC fans feel like.
And I don't feel bad rooting against them and wanting to see them lose just because of how long they've been on top for.
Yeah.
It's humbling to their fans right now.
And I don't remember the name of the player, but at the end of the game where he picked it off, apparently, and now this is going to come down to the ref, so we don't know. He picked it off at the 2, and then he went into the end zone, and he was going to take a knee, and they told him, no, 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 get out, get out, get out, because if he took a knee, it could have been a safety, but I think the refs would have ruled that his momentum carried him into the end zone. But you never know with those refs. I mean, so yeah, that if that would have happened, my goodness, it would have been anarchy. And then one of the two overtime games was Tennessee defeated Florida 23-17. Tennessee looked bad again in the first half. They just hand the ball off to Dylan Sampson. Seems to be the game plan right now. Nico, I think teams are getting film on Nico, and he's going to have to learn to overcome some things. But he's young. He'll figure it out. And then we talked about LSU Ole Miss. LSU wins 29-26 in overtime. Nussmeier, he has some nuts and guts types of throws on third down late in the fourth quarter just to even get it to overtime. And then the wackiest road game is Mizzou traveled to Massachusetts, and they put a whooping on them 45-3. And then here's good old Vanderbilt. They were a double-digit underdog and win 20-13. So I want to say something about Stoops. So we talked about the Big Blue madness they had. They had it Friday night, and they brought him out onto the court. And he was like, man, I said, I don't know what this feels like. I haven't done this in 12 years. Kind of throwing a shot at Cal, because apparently him and Calipari did not get along. And then you turn around the next day and lose to Vanderbilt. So, yeah, good job there.
Yeah, he won't last another couple seasons there.
I mean, just think about it. Last season, he was rumored to be the Texas A&M coach,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went back to Kentucky, got a little bit of a pay raise, and yeah. Now, I mean, I know a lot of Kentucky fans are not happy, but it is what it is.
It's not Arkansas, so they can have all the drama they want to over there. Thank you for Calipari.
Uh-huh. All right, and so this week in the SEC, Auburn goes to Missouri at 11 o'clock ESPN, and Mizzou is a 4-point favorite, which I think is
it's pretty low.
Yeah, I don't see Auburn winning this, unless they play 9 times. But
well, yeah, if they play 9 more times, I think they'll win 9 out of 10 times.
But yeah, I don't. I think Mizzou's back on track. I think people don't realize how good Texas A&M really is. Because they beat up on Mizzou and people kind of dogged Mizzou, but I think Mizzou's going to get back on track. And that pains for me to say, because you know how much we hate Drinkwitz here. Oh, this next one. This one has tickets as low as $19. Man. South Carolina at Oklahoma. 11:45 kickoff, SEC Network. OU is a 1.5-point favorite.
They're the home team.
Yeah, so they gave them those 3 points. It seems.
Give me South Carolina though.
Yeah. Here's the thing about South Carolina. They almost, we talked about LSU. They should have beat LSU. Should have beat LSU. I mean, you can say they should have beat Alabama. They beat up on Kentucky, who Kentucky beat up on, they beat Ole Miss. This season is wacky. It reminds me of that 2007, I think it's 2007 season where everybody just loses. But, yeah, give me South Carolina in that one. And that's, I want to say Beamer used to coach at Oklahoma, so it should be a little bit of a homecoming for him.
I don't want to interrupt you, but you were talking about tickets as low as $19. You just wait till you get further down this list. There's 2 more that
Listen, why can't Arkansas get these prices?
I know.
But if you use promo code 4-Star Sports Media at SeatGeek, you might get them to be that low. All right, next is this next game. The loser of this next game, their season's over with, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Alabama at Tennessee, 2:30 ABC kickoff in Tennessee. Alabama, 3-point favorite.
So, that, to me, is a toss-up game. Both, like I said, it's a must-win for either one of these teams. And, last week, both of them got knocked in the jaw and almost lost.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee just because I think Tennessee is a better defense. Bama's
Yeah,
defense is not great, or not what we're used to being a Bama. I'm not saying they're a lot better than probably Arkansas's, but
and I think the home crowd is going to help them out.
yeah, yeah, that's like I said, the loser of that one, you can just, I mean, but Tennessee has to play Vanderbilt at the end of the season too. Watch out. All right, yeah, I'll go Tennessee. I don't give me give me those 3 points for Tennessee. Yeah, that's a good one. This next one, Texas A&M at Mississippi State. The Cowbells will be ringing at 3:15 on ACC Network. Tickets as low as $5. It's almost worth the trip over there if you're a Texas A&M fan. A&M favored by 18 points, which I think is correct. But Mississippi State has been covering these big spreads.
Yeah, I mean that is a dangerous game for A&M.
Yeah, I mean Van Buren, their Mississippi State quarterback, he's been playing pretty good.
Yeah,
So
but I mean that Mississippi State team is so
yeah,
weird, oddball this season. I mean,
yeah,
you go toe to toe with Bama, but yet they
yeah,
lose some of these easier games.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's yeah, Mississippi State. Yeah, it's the problem is they can't run the ball. Like they're very bad at running. If you know who their offensive line coach is, it probably makes sense. He used to be at Arkansas, so yeah. Give me. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, it's not tough. A&M's going to win
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah,
I'm just
A&M's going
saying.
to win, but I don't think they may not cover
Yeah,
that 18 points.
yeah. Mississippi State's been pretty good covering lately, and hmm, yeah, I might say give me plus eight. Give me 18 points for Mississippi State. All right. Well, LSU Arkansas. I didn't know this. Tickets as low as $82. I don't believe that, but maybe they
Come
are.
on,
I
well,
haven't.
come
I
on
haven't
up.
looked. I haven't looked. No, it's gonna be a good day to watch any game at the house instead of driving up there.
No, there
And
is tickets for $82. Row 520,
um,
row 15,
there you go.
5 tickets.
Well, me and the cold weather up there in Fayetteville. We don't get along.
Oh,
So
it's supposed to be in the 70s.
okay. Well,
I mean,
it's 35 degrees this morning down here.
well, yeah, I mean, it's what it was here too. But the forecast for the game kickoff is 71 degrees.
Okay. Yeah, it's doable. Next is you can if you have a $2 bill, you can buy a ticket here. Ball State at Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt is favored by 26.5 points. I bet Vanderbilt has never seen a 26.5 point spread in a long time.
I'm looking at their ticket price. There's a lot for two and like $5.
Man, Nashville, y'all need to get out and support your team. I know there's a lot more things to do in Nashville, Tennessee than to go watch Vanderbilt play, but they are playing some real good ball right now. Go out and support for $2. Heck, you can't even buy a drink on Broadway in Nashville for $2. So
Oh shoot! I mean, and the $2 ticket is a good ticket.
I mean, they're renovating the stadium. I know it's taken them 20 years, but they're finishing up. Go out and support your team. I mean, if you're a Vanderbilt fan, I know you may not be, but yeah. Now the thing is though, Vanderbilt doesn't really score. They're kind of a low possession type of team. They kind of like to grind the clock out. So I don't know if they
Hmm.
even. I don't know if that 26.5. I don't know. I don't know anything about Ball State. So maybe they're like UAPB or something. I don't know.
Well, Ball State is third from last in the MAC.
Yeah. Okay. So and Vanderbilt's beat Bama. So
Yeah, they've won 2 games this year: Missouri State
yeah.
and Kent State.
Okay. And the next one is where game day is being. There's a lot going on in Austin, Texas. You got game day. You got this game. There's a F1 racing event down there. Austin is a lot of things happening. So number 5 Georgia travels to number 1 Texas 6:30 primetime kickoff on ABC. Texas is a 5-point favorite. I don't. I enjoy chaos, so I want Georgia to win. So it just throws everything into a tizzy. But I don't know. I don't. Texas hasn't been. I mean,
I mean,
you can
this
say
is the
they
first
have.
true. This is no to me. I mean, they played Michigan. That was their hardest game.
Yeah, Michigan. I mean, and Michigan's not. They don't have a quarterback, so you can't really. That is. I don't stand up like Pat McAfee and sing that Georgia fight song that he sings, but it's just the SEC fan in me because it's hard to believe Texas is in the SEC, but I like Georgia, but
Yeah,
not money line. Just give me Georgia with those 5 points.
yeah. I mean, looking at Texas' schedule, they play Colorado State, Michigan, UTSA, ULM, Mississippi State,
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
yeah,
I mean, that is a
mm-hmm.
cupcake of a schedule minus Michigan.
Yeah, yeah. And Kirby's a great game planner. Um, yeah, give me. I mean, I think a lot of SEC fans are going to root for Georgia, even though Texas is honestly the best SEC team right now.
Yeah,
But it pains in my Arkansas heart to root for Texas. Um, so give me Georgia.
yeah. I'm with you. I'd like to see Georgia win. I'll be keeping up with that one though during our game during
Yeah,
timeouts.
yeah. Our game starts at 6. There's 6:30. So now if you got YouTube TV, you can watch both of them. Or heck, even you can add 2 more games to that and have a split screen of 4 games going on. So and last is very local Kentucky at Florida. 6:45 kickoff. ACC Network. You can buy a ticket for $23, and Kentucky is a 1.5-point favorite. I actually like Florida in this matchup.
hmm
I mean, the score may be 10-7, because Kentucky's defense is very elite, very very good. I just think Kentucky's offense is very very bad. So just give me Florida. I know they're fighting for their coach down there. They're playing hard for him. A lot of teams would have just kind of folded up, and they can kind of read the tea leaves and see. He may not be there next year, but they're still fighting for him. So give me
yeah,
Florida
but
at home at night.
yeah, I mean, the players could also be playing for make their tapes look good when they decide to go somewhere else.
Yep, yep. Might see, some of them like, I've only played in 2 games. Let me redshirt so I can save a year.
hmm
Yeah. So that's the SEC. It's going to be a great, 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 great weekend, starting at 11 o'clock to 6:45 of SEC football. Looking forward to it. So yeah, this is going to be what we call Separation Saturday. You're going to see who's legit, who's not, because we'll see. We'll see if Texas can survive a little bit of the SEC. They can be the SEC team every now and then. It's that grind of going through it. Now you're facing Georgia, who's past few years national champions and pretty good football team. Kirby
hmm
Smart has. But I will say I watch Oregon and Ohio State. It was a great game too. I know it's outside the SEC, but Dan Lanning was playing chess out there because I don't know if you saw he sent 12 men out there.
Oh yeah,
And time rolled, the time rolled off, but he had 12 men out there, so you don't expect him to get too much yardage. And then he got the penalty, cost him 5 yards, but it got like 5 seconds off the clock. I mean, it was so good that they had to change a rule this week. Like it's in the rule book now. I think that the time will go back on the clock whenever the snap happened. So
didn't Belichick almost do the same thing one year?
yeah, it was like on a punt. He kept doing false starts. Like
hmm
kept because the time kept going. So yeah, he claims he claims they work on that, but he didn't know in that situation or something. I don't. But he knew what he was doing.
hmm
But all right. Again, use promo code 4 Star Sports Media on SeatGeek for $20 off your first order. Again, tickets, as Jason said, are $83. So maybe on SeatGeek you can get a little bit cheaper than that if you use promo code 4-Star Sports Media. Okay, we'll be back Sunday for our post-game show and Sports Buffet. They'll be all throughout the week. Jonathan Sturdivant will have Inside the Lines with some Tennessee high school football action. I know high school football action Arkansas is kicking up. We're about halfway through the conference season. So yeah, it's a fun time. Go check out your local high school. Go support them. Go check out your local junior high tonight if you have one close by. They enjoy that support as well. But for Jason, I'm Blake. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Hogs Happy Hour.